Oh, we're live here on 98.9 Northwest FM. Paul, Mark and the Tech Guy. We're back. Second show for 2026. Exciting times, Mark. Let me tell you, as you know, our great mate over here is back from international travel, the Tech Guy himself, Julio. But let me just say, mate, I am so excited because not only do we have a wonderful guest this evening, but I needed to get it out there to 98.9 land and to our stream. We are now streaming live on Paul, Mark and the Tech Guy Facebook. Hey, round of applause. We've got a round of applause for everyone.
So good. Our Chief Marketing Officer, Rosario Labrador, got us the extra people to get us off the line, which is amazing. Our Tech Guy is back here. We've got an amazing guest tonight. I tell you what, she is the mayor of everywhere, but also including Brimbank, and we're very privileged to have an influencer, guys. Now, you guys haven't influenced much in your life, but tonight you've got the privilege of meeting a real influencer. Julio, you need to listen tonight because this woman's done everything you haven't been able to do.
That's true.
Oh my God.
So Paul, I think we can learn from Virginia tonight, and it's so good having everyone here. We've got a top show, really excited about it, especially after a terrible weekend of football. I'm really excited about tonight.
Oh, shocking. Yeah, shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. Well, we won't go. I think we did. Well, we got the great mate Nath, who's going to be talking the 5-minute play or sports talk down the track in the second half of the show. He's going to give us a bit of a roundup or update on what's going on, all things sports. But we've also, despite our wonderful guests, we've also got Money Talk brought to you by Harrods Financial Services, and we'll be jumping on there. Top 7 at 7. I'm going to love this topic because it's 7 ways to say that the mayor is handling being in the hot seat. So the mayor's doing a great job, and what are the 7 ways that she's handling it? And also, Mark's rant plus lots more.
The person we've got on, they reckon she's been the most popular mayor ever in the city of Brimbank. That's incredible, isn't it? Ever. That's what they said.
Unbelievable.
I've heard it said many times. It's in the stats. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere, mate. The most popular mayor ever, and she's here on the show.
Thank you, Mark. I feel that's a really high bar that I have to reach now.
Virginia, it's so good to have you here. The Mayor of Brimbank, our special guest tonight on 98.9 Northwest M, Paul, Mark and the Tech Guy, our show, and we're very privileged to have you. And look, Virginia, where did it all start? How did you start your career in politics and leadership? Like, what happened to make you want to become Mayor of Brimbank?
I think I've always wanted to work in the community, and I wasn't sure, from volunteering in sports clubs, and I guess that's where I saw a lot of unfairness out in the western suburbs, in that disparity of funding with our sports facilities compared to where I grew up in the southeast area. And I thought, I really want to do something about it. I want to make a difference. And someone suggested that, local government would be a good step. And I did take a bit of a gamble because I had saved some money to take my son overseas for the first time. And my son said, Mum, I know you'd love to run for local government. Just use that money for a campaign. And I said, what for? I'll never win. I'll just embarrass myself. So I had a crack in 2016 for local government, and I've now successfully won three terms. So
wow.
Just shows you.
And they say you're the mayor of the people. Why do people say you're the mayor of the people? Why do people say you're the most popular mayor? What's your secret sauce on being one of the best mayors in Victoria at the moment?
Well, that's certainly a lovely compliment to hear that, because I'm very much love being helping people, and I love being out in the public, and with my community. So I really think highly of my community in the West. I can't describe the feelings I have except to say that everyone comes here because, like I came here because it's affordable. It's a way to start, a great place to start a family, and just building on that dream and being in local government and seeing, I know people expect things to happen really quickly in local government. It does take a long time, but when you see things happen and successes come through, it gives you a real motivation to keep going and feel like you're on the right track. But it all comes down to you being out in the grassroots with the community.
Okay, now I don't want to mention any names apart from Julio, but there's some people on here that want to be, into politics. They want to be a leader and they want to get their name out there. They want to get voted in. What advice would you give someone like Julio who's trying to get this career in politics? What advice would you give him?
Okay, Julio, I have mentored people in the past, and what I usually say is that find an issue that you're really passionate about in your community, and it's got to be something that you're really quite invested in, or it could be something that you feel is unfair. Get involved at grassroots level, become passionate about it, and work out a plan on what you're going to do, what your next steps are going to be. And I think through grassroots issues, you develop a public profile by getting out there and serving your community. Then you might ask for some mentoring around leadership and project management. Get in touch with your council and sign up as a volunteer as well. That's a great way, a great segue into local government. Or if you wanted state or federal government, you could, ask for mentoring programs. But I think I always say to people, have a crack. You don't know, you won't know everything before you go in, but even if you're just passionate about the issues that you are, that is sufficient to get you started.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. That's right.
Come on, Julio. You got to do better than that, mate.
Have
a crack. Come on, give us a statement. Give us something, mate.
Mark,
having a crack.
I will.
Let me just show you this one here from Alex. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Oh, that's
there you go. Definitely the best Mayor of Brimbank.
I think he's free to go.
Well, Mark has given his advice.
All in fantastic, Virginia.
Yeah. So, and his advice is pretty forward. He just basically said, "This is the attitude I should take towards getting my votes."
Oh no, you can't go in with that attitude. No.
There you go. So, that's okay.
I'm happy to mentor you, Julia.
I love it, mate.
If you need support.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I do need it.
So, Virginia, how have you found it? How many? You've been a mayor now for say 4 months.
Since November, yes.
Yeah. So how's it gone? What's been the pluses and the minuses? I know you've hadn't had much free time. Catching up with it's pretty hard now. You used to watch a lot of Netflix. No more Netflix. No more this, no more that. But how's it gone the last 4 months?
It's gone very fast. Pretty much, I hit the ground running, and I guess leading up to Christmas, it did start to go a little bit quiet, but as soon as the new year kicked in, pretty much I've been, because it's an election year for the state, I've been nonstop doing advocacy, and my diary is pretty much filled up for the next few weeks with meetings and advocacy opportunities, but also going out to visits to my community, to schools, to carers events, to a lot of things which people like to see their mayors and their councillors out in the public, because sometimes not everyone's got computers or is savvy. They want to ask you questions or get some help, then you're there in person to help them. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it just has gone very, very quickly, Mark.
What's been your number one challenge?
Number one challenge is to get to everywhere, and sometimes there could be 5 events in a row, and I want to get to all 5 of them. So I find I'm zigzagging in the car, and that's challenging, not so much because I'm very enthusiastic, but by the end of the day, I really feel a little bit drained and tired because I'm just like a live wire. I just go, go, go. And I never want to miss an opportunity to go to a school or to meet a person, a resident, and talk to them about an issue. And I try and incorporate it into having a coffee to sit down and also chat to people, in a more casual way as well.
Virginia, what would be, I guess, the most interesting conversation that you would have with someone over a coffee? Has been there. Is there something that comes to mind?
A lot of the times people want to see you because they've got a complaint. They don't want to see you to say, oh, you're fantastic or anything. They've got a complaint and sometimes it's unresolved. So it could be anything from, the dog next door's keeping me up all night or a fallen branch or something, It could be an ongoing issue that's been going on for like maybe years that they want a resolution. What I do is I don't offer a promise that I can fix it, but what I do offer is to listen and do my very best to follow it up and see what I can do. I get some everything from, noise complaints to odor is a really big one in the western suburbs. I'm not sure about the north, but we've got a lot of industries that are highly causing a lot of pollution in the area. So I get some really aggrieved people ringing me up and stressed out because they can't handle the odors or the smoke. Also, traffic is a massive one. Traffic congestion, because the West is growing. This is where all the growth is happening, and there's all these new suburbs.
Yeah, exactly.
And people do something. This is getting out of hand.
Look, I mean, it's obviously very challenging.
Anything sort of surprised you there, Virginia? Like, what's been the most surprising conversation or request that you've had since you've been a mayor?
Surprising. I've been in local government for 10 years, so I've heard it all, and a lot of people are just, similar to, wanting to know how to get into local government. Some people are just, asking about getting resources and support to make their ideas happen. I don't get any really strange or anything way out because I think sometimes people don't know how to triage their problem, and local government is the first point of access, because they know they can call you, you'll answer the phone, you'll answer their email, and then you can meet them face to face. I think that's the beautiful thing about local government is it's the closest to the people. And I really worry about AI actually impacting local government because I think that people still want to talk to people. And I think that AI coming into local government is really worrying for me because we should never take away that experience, that human experience of talking to your representative.
Well, there's a lot going on, Virginia, and obviously we've got a lot tonight in our show this evening. Love having you on, especially with your busy schedule. You talk about you've been in office since November, but you mentioned earlier pre-show duplicating Taylor's Road. You talked about the Melbourne Airport train link. How do you manage everything? Like, give Julio the secret sauce on how you're able to manage new projects, complaints or concerns from our local constituents, and also the role that you play as a mayor.
Look, if you love the community, Julio, if you love the community, nothing is a chore. You've got to be in that mindset and in that flow where you want to help the community because you're not going to get a lot of positive feedback. Just giving you that it's about working constructively with people to get positive outcomes. My joy is working with good people to get good outcomes. I think it's sometimes it gets tough when you've got these two projects, for example, that basically you want the government to deliver them. So you've knocked on the door how many years in a row for the Melbourne Airport rail link? I mean, 50 years we've been waiting for that. And Taylor's Road should have been done decades ago. I'm in that position now as mayor where I can really push those projects hard, and I have no how can I say, trepidation about bringing these to the MPs and saying, look, the West deserves better. We deserve to have good roads that are, purposely built for the growth that we're encountering. And also, we need a Melbourne Airport rail link, because every major city's got one, except for Melbourne. And all this growth happening in Geelong, Bendigo, out there, these people need a central spot to catch a train to get to the station. This will mean that Sunshine becomes the heart of the West, and that's what we want. So I can't tell you how excited I am about pushing these projects, because I think once they go through, and I'm being positive mindset, they will transform the West for the better.
We love your passion there, Virginia. And Julio, you must be learning something from this, mate. This must be a really great session for you, because you really do need it. And I gather your mate Alex has got a question, Julio.
He does. Alex does have a question. What are the council's key topics to fix in the next 6 to 12 months?
Oh, there's so many. But the main ones are, as I outlined, those two big projects are the Taylor's Road, duplicating it, and the state government taking over as a state arterial road. The other is the Melbourne Airport rail link, getting absolute detail around what they're going to do with that. Other things that we are considered to be gold, advocacy items are mental health, homelessness, which is on the increase as well, not just in the West, but everywhere. Also greening the West, because we've got a lot of contamination, and having a greater green tree canopy is really important. And I just want to lead back to one thing that I think is really vital that I've seen is the grassroots people that help people suffering from mental health, youth issues, and homelessness. One of those projects is the youth bus that I really want to mention here, that I know Mark's involved in. And I feel as though that the youth bus and places like the Tin Shed, and also that food truck, these people, they're not like paid to do what they're doing, but they have got the biggest hearts. They go out there, and I know that the youth bus goes out every fortnight on a Friday and has like a barbie and has informal chats with people in a very disadvantaged area in Brimbank. And I just wanted to say, these are the things that are really changing things on the ground. It's not so much the big government agencies where you have to fill in dozens of forms to get help. It's the people like the youth bus that come out. They don't judge. They don't ask questions. They're just there to help people and have a conversation, have a snag, and have a conversation and find out what they need to see if we can help them. And that I wanted to mention that because I feel as though these people go without much accolades, but they deserve credit.
Yeah, and I think it's a great credit to you, Virginia, that before you were mayor, you were volunteering on the Melbourne Youth Bus, connecting with locals, connecting with people that were homeless, literally sleeping at Errington Reserve where we have the bus. And, so it's a really needy area, as you say, a lot of variety of different people that access the bus. It's like a community bus in some ways, in many ways.
Yes.
But you've been volunteering there, which is absolutely fantastic. You've also got a history of working in the disability space with independent disability services. So your whole life and everything you do is geared to helping people.
It's my space, and I think everyone's got their own comfort and flow. And for me, I like to be around people where I know that I could use my skills and resources to assist in any way I can. Obviously, with people suffering mental health and homelessness, it's about building trust, and also sometimes just treating them in a humane way. And I've always felt like the bus is a place where a safe space where people can come, have a conversation. There's no filling out forms, have a meal, and just be around people that treat them as people. And, we've got a lot of issues in Brimbank in that Errington area. As you said, Mark, is a very complex, high need area for many, many years. But I think the small part that we play there to get people to come out of their shell, have a snag and a chat, have a drink, from families to kids riding the skateboards to rough sleepers that are actually sleeping in barbecues there, because there's just a shortage of available housing at the moment. So I think I'm very proud to be part of that project in the small part that I play.
That's amazing. I think I would like to dwell on that a little bit, or jump into that again a little bit later, Mark. But coming up, we have Top 7 at 7, and we're going to be finding out how our mayor is handling being in the hot seat, because obviously we're hearing some wonderful things going on. But I want to drill it down, and there's 7 ways. We've got Mark's rant coming up in the next half hour, but I want to go to a quick song and a break. But we'll be back with Virginia. Will you help us out, Virginia?
Yes,
with that Top 7 at 7.
Sure. Yes.
Before we go,
98.9.
hear from Stephen Kane, great supporter of the show. Paul, we should put his message up there. And Stephen Kane's been a great supporter of the show.
What was that? Sorry.
That's
Back
awesome.
Are you awake, Julio? Like you're with us,
I'm
mate?
trying to. I'm trying to be awake.
We got Stephen Kane, the great man over there in Adelaide. He's a great supporter of the show, and he's sending his love to Virginia and the program. So, hey, Stephen Kane, we love you, mate, and thinking of you. And Alex, obviously, he's right behind Virginia, all the projects she's doing. So fantastic, really, really good work there.
Look, Mark, we're really excited that we're getting everyone sort of to interact, be part of the show. It's not just Mayor Virginia and Julio, Mark and Paul. It's all of us. So get involved. Drop us a line, and especially whilst you've got Mayor Virginia with us this evening, you can ask her a couple of questions. We'll be back shortly. And a big thanks to our previous presenter too on 989. Aaron with Tell All the Friends. All right. So I know you like some of his music there, Mark, but we'll be right back after this, and we're going to play a song from Empire of the Sun. I don't know if you know those guys, Virginia, Walking on a Dream.
Yes. Yeah, I love that song.
Don't go away. We're right back here with Mayor Virginia and Paul Marketing Tech Guy.
Okay,
Awesome.
well, Virginia, while Paul's out there playing music, hey, don't go away. We're going to keep talking because we've got Julio.
I turned the light on. That's all. It was getting dark.
I think that's a great thing to turn the light on, because that's what we're trying to do with Julio tonight. We're trying to turn his light on, and you're a big help to Julio. I can already see you're making a big impact on his life. Julio, what are you thinking, mate? Any comments you've got?
At the moment, though, Virginia sounds amazing. She's been really putting her foot down about what she wants to do council-wise, so she probably would be a good mentor, especially leading forward. And now that I've actually moved into Reservoir, so it'd be really good to hear more information about that.
Yeah, one of the questions
also,
you go, Julio.
I did have one question, was how do you find working with the Victorian government itself? Like, is it hard? Is it like putting teeth sometimes, or is it more streamlined?
That's why I was saying, like, don't expect instant results with things. Like, projects that you start, like shovel-ready projects, could take 2 years. Sometimes projects can take up to 5 to 10 years because there's a priority plan of like construction of say upgrading sports facilities to community hubs to libraries to swimming pools. All that stuff takes time, and I think the community thinks that you can just do things like that, and it is working with the local government is a slow process, but so is the state government and federal government as well. But the thing is, we're reachable, and I really appreciate that people stop me and say, look, I think you should be doing this, focusing on this issue. Homelessness and mental health are our number one gold items.
Yeah.
As well as, doing the Melbourne Airport rail link and, the Taylor's Road. Those 2 items are the number one priorities for our community. We need more support around, people are saying we need more support around homelessness and mental health.
Now, politics is a very hard game, Virginia. Sometimes you can get bullied, you can be outvoted, you can be out this and out that.
Yes.
But how do you stay focused on what you believe? And because you're a very honest person, you are who you are. You're not, two-faced, or you're not this or that. You don't say one thing here and one thing there. You're always a person of your word. How have you been able to manage to do that through 10 years of politics? How do you do it?
Look, I'll be very honest. There were days where I thought this is not for me, because I felt like it was, I have been bullied, and I have sought help about that. But overall, I've had people that have been mentors to me say to me, we need people like you to stay, because, you really care about the community, and there's going to be bullies wherever you go, in whatever workplace. And I think it's so easy for those bullies to win if you just walk out or quit. That's what they want you to do. But if you stay, regroup, get support around you, get the right people. And that's why I say, look, work with good people to get good outcomes. And Mark, you would agree with that. Like, line yourself up with good people. Do not hang around people that are going to put you down, drag you backwards, or steal your goodness and your good vibes. Stay with the people that are willing to work with you. Give them a chance to be in your light so you can work together.
Now, we've got about 20 or 30 seconds before we join Paul in the radio there. But quickly, why are you committed to people with a disability? What would be your 20-second speech about that?
I was drawn to it because I served on the disability committee for many years at Brimbank Council, and that's when before I became a councillor, I was a volunteer there, and I worked in disability employment and loved it. Absolutely loved the challenge and helping people to get into jobs. That was my big motivation.
And you're employed now by independent. You got a good relationship with Independent Disability Services.
Disability Services, and I do a lot to help people get the right support work. Even today, I had someone call me and say that they're looking for new support workers. So I said, Monday I'll speak to them further about it. But that's also a job that I find really satisfying if we can help improve the quality of people's lives. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, we move on to round 7.
I think we've you got there, guys. I think we're having a few challenges around our stream on Facebook. Check us out there. Virginia, we lost a little bit of that, but we'll come back to that. Here, 989 Northwest FM, Paul, Mark, and the Tech Guy. Our special guest this evening, Virginia Tachos, Mayor of Brimbank. Wonderful things happening out there in the West. Well done, and keep doing fantastic things. Coming up around the corner in the next half hour, coming up nearly the next half hour, I think, but we've also going to be doing Money Talk with Rene, and we've obviously got the guy from Baseline who's going to give us some tips, because I know Mark's looking for maybe changing teams. I think he's probably going to leave from Essendon and go over to the Doggies. I think that could be
join you, Mark.
One of his things. How do you follow? Are you a Bombers? I understand. All right, top 7. Thanks, Julio. Top 7 at 7. All right, it's one of the segments we always love, and we're going to get this one right, and hopefully we're not going to be hindered by the stream there. But we're with Virginia in the hot seat. So as Mayor, Virginia, I sort of thought, well, let's ask you some questions around what are the top 7 ways to say that the Mayor is handling your role, being in the hot seat. So what's it like? So I've taken number 1 is your role in sitting in the hot seat as the Mayor is you keep your cool. Is that true?
Yes, 100%. Always keep your cool, keep balanced. Even when things get messy, you've got to be able to just retain that coolness.
Very important. Absolutely. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
vital.
I think we can see that over the very vital. Yeah, I can imagine you maybe having a coffee and then you sort of lose your head because I can't stop the dogs from barking. You know what I mean? Or getting Mark's rant. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
what do you do when I ring
Exactly.
up? I can't stop the dog barking, man. You know, it's just like.
and you know, there's going to be people that have got like months and months of pent up anger. You just have to bring them back to what is it they actually want and stay cool.
Exactly. All right. 7 ways to say that the mayor is handling being in the hot seat. Number 2 is takes it in stride. So in other words, she takes it in stride and keeps things moving on. So obviously you take it on and you just keep moving. Yeah.
Keep going. Look, there's going to be some days where you go good and there are going to be some occasions where you go bad. You just got to take it in your stride and just wake up the next day and get back into it.
Yeah, you seem to have that positive attitude.
Sensation. Number 3.
Positive attitude. Is that part of taking it in stride?
Positive and realistic. I think sometimes, you know, if you get hyped up about something, things can change, and then you just need to level out and not be too hyper excited about something. Like I love the idea of the Melbourne Airport rail link, but I want to see substance. I want to see details. I want to see timeframes before I get too excited.
I'm glad you didn't get too excited about the St Kilda Football Club, because you wouldn't want to go early there.
No, I actually have to keep myself constantly under expecting things. What's it called when you don't expect anything and you won't get disappointed?
Yeah. All right.
You would know.
Okay, so 7 ways to say that the mayor. Yeah, well, you know, as I said, Mark's going to change his team, I think. What's number 3? Rolls with the punches. So I'm sure that's a challenge, rolling with the punches.
Yeah, because there's going to be people criticizing you all the time. Like, no matter what you do, they're going to criticize you. You do something right, wrong, they'll criticize you. You've just got to accept that those people have got a very low threshold. And just keep your mind level and not let it get to you.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. And I do want to say though, Virginia, I like the word you used earlier is realism. So how do you articulate? Because I guess, as you said, a lot of people got a lower threshold. They don't really understand or see what's going on behind the scenes. They only see the front sort of window.
Yeah.
How do you portray, you know, being realistic to the constituents or, you know, to the people out of the community?
I stay calm and I listen carefully to exactly what they want. I can't get too hyper, engaged with every request that's thrown at me. I have to just see what I can do. Is it in my remit? If it's not, then I have to just let it go, because I think people think, when you're at the local government stage, we do roads, rubbish, and rates that look after your amenity. We can't fix things like homelessness overnight. And I understand that people get angry because they say, look, what's the council doing about this situation? And we just cannot because homelessness, I don't want to have a big discussion about that tonight, but you could be in a house and not feel safe and feel homeless as well. So it's a very deeply complex issue, and it's not something that we can solve overnight.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. We can come back to that. Get you on the show again at some stage.
Yeah.
Virginia.
I'd love to.
If you'd like that.
Yes.
That's probably when Mark goes to Collingwood, I think. Number 4, handles the pressure pretty well. So do you handle the pressure pretty well? I think it looks like you do, yeah?
I do, but I do have my moments sometimes when things go like really wrong. And look, I mean, not a lot of things go really wrong, but like, for example, like, having to do things on the spot impromptu, you've got to be good at that, because, people don't turn up and you've got to, step in and do things. You've just got to have that mindset that, like before you were talking about the show's just got to keep rolling. You can't.
Virginia, what happens? What do you do when you get overwhelmed? It's too much. Where do you retreat to? What happens when you retreat and say, okay, I just need a bit of time out here? Like, what's your happy place, really? Is it,
walking my dog. I've got my emotional support dog, Zeus. And, I spend a lot of time walking with him in the morning and night. He's a border collie. I do a lot of reading. I've been reading a lot of books on meditation, but also problem solving, and not believing everything that you think is the book that I'm reading at the moment, which is really changing the way I respond to situations, and it helps me really step back.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so number 5, facing it head on. So just face it head on instead of just dodging it. So I think you just mentioned that. That's fantastic. Yeah, number 6, doesn't crack under pressure. Well, Mark sort of talked through that, so that's awesome. And then number 7, the top 7. This is our top 7 ways to say that the mayor is handling being in the hot seat. Is deals with it like a pro. So obviously you're doing a fantastic job. So you're dealing with it like a pro, Virginia.
What does Virginia thinks about handling it like a pro, like a professional? Like, what's in your mind about how is it handling like a professional? How would you describe that? Like Essendon, that's true. They're amazing.
I think you've got to be really diplomatic, because there's going to be circumstances where you're not going to enjoy the situation, or you've got to meet up with someone that you may not have a really good relationship with, but you need to meet with them because you need to get things done. So I think dealing things like a pro to me means parking your feelings and being diplomatic and saying, okay, what are you here to do? I'm here to get a good outcome for my community. Are you on the same page? Okay, let's work together. So I think being a professional is, no matter what work situation you're in, is to be diplomatic and understand also that people have feelings as well, not just yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks, Virginia, for helping us through the top 7 at 7 ways to say that the mayor is handling being in the hot seat. So yeah, we're really excited about having you here with this evening. And Marcus, I think we've also got someone who handles things like a pro coming up with Money Talk with Rene shortly. But you want to stick around, Virginia, or I
think Virginia you've got stick around this because she loves getting some advice in this area, like us all, of course. Julio doesn't need the advice, Virginia, because he's got about 5 bank accounts and they're all full. So he's looking at starting a 6th bank account, and he can't put money in the other 5. So he won't need to listen. Normal people like you and I, we need all the advice we can get.
All right. Well, our Money Talk presenter is sent through a video. So stick around and take it away, Julio.
G'day, Paul and Mark. Look, thanks for having me back for a second time. So we just want to get Money Talk started again for this week, and we've got a hot topic. Yeah, that hot topic is, can I retire yet? Now, I know it's a simple question, but it's rarely a simple answer. Retirement is just not determined by age alone. I mean, it depends on money, your lifestyle. How long do you plan to retire for? I mean that's a question with a long answer. I mean, who knows how long we're going to be retired for? Who knows how long we're going to live for? But getting these 3 factors right makes a difference between a comfortable retirement and one filled with financial stress, and we just all want to avoid that. So, as a financial planner, though, when I look at these, when we look into this for our clients, we have 3 pillars. The first one is, what financial resources do we have available? What money have you got? This includes your superannuation, savings, and any other assets that can produce an income, when you stop working. The second pillar is your lifestyle expectations. Some retirees want to travel regularly, upgrade their car every few years and dine out often. That's fantastic, we all really want to do those things. But there's others that are perfectly happy, just living a quieter lifestyle, a bit more of a frugal lifestyle with modest spending. So there's no right or wrong answer, but the lifestyle you want will determine how much income you need a year. Now, the third pillar or the third factor we need to consider is life expectancy. And look, if we all had the big red phone to the man up in the sky, we could give him a call and find out, hey, how long am I going to live for? But that's just not a reality, right? So retirement often lasts for longer than expected. For many Australians in their mid-60s, retirement can easily, last for 25 or even 30 years. Now, what I generally say to all my clients is, well, have a look at, how old's mum, or how old was mum when she passed, and how old was dad when he passed away. And that's going to give you a bit of a gauge on your life expectancy. It's not a guarantee, but gives you a gauge. But so the thing is, if we can get those three pillars right, that's going to go a long way in terms of ensuring we can fund, your retirement, which is 25 years to 30 years potentially could be 1/3 of your whole life. Now let's consider a simple example. Imagine retirees, someone retires at the age of 65. They live to age 90, so there's 25 years without any employment income. Or minimal, very minimal employment income, because you can do some employment while you're retired if you so desire. But during that time, during that time of retirement, your expenses just don't fall away. Right? You still got grocery expenses, utilities, electricity, gas, water, insurance costs, medical costs, travel expenses, and just everyday lifestyle expenses. They continue. They don't disappear. Now, so we discussed last week around where that income might come from to try and to fund those expenses. And just to reiterate those, there's three main sources: superannuation or lifetime pensions, personal investments or savings, and or the age pension. I mean, the age pension can be a big part of most people's sort of retirement funding. Now, the challenge is making sure that those three income sources work together effectively. If structured properly, they can provide a steady income stream, but if poorly planned, retirees find themselves drawing down on the savings just too quickly, and that's improper planning, and it can lead to problems. And this is why we advocate, don't. So many times we have clients on our doorstep, a month before they want to retire, and great, we can help them out. There's no doubt about that, but ultimately, we suggest 5 years, maybe even 10 years prior to retirement, start working out what it looks like and what it can look like, and so on. So, what are some practical takeaways? If you're starting to think about retirement, here are three questions worth asking. The first one is, how much income will I realistically need each year? So, a common benchmark used in Australia suggests that a comfortable retirement for a couple may require somewhere between $70,000 and $75,000 a year. Now, every house is different. Some are going to want more, some can live on less. But 70 to 75,000, it's a pretty reasonable. I look at my own client base and think, there's a good portion of those sort of living in that space. The second question is, where will that income come from? Well, we touched on that. Will it be funded entirely by your superannuation? Will you qualify for full or age pension entitlement? Are there assets that you can consider that can help enhance your age pension entitlement? So again, that's where, what are the gifting rules around passing on assets to try and maximise age pension entitlement? Really, we advocate 5 years before you're reaching that stage is when you should be looking at these things, because there's a lot of rules that come into play 5 years in advance. Or ultimately, as most of our clients do, they rely on a combination of superannuation, personal investment assets, and the age pension, and so on. Now, the third question is, how long will retirement last? Well, we've had that discussion. We've said it could be, on average, 25 to 30 years. And I mean, I've had clients retire at the age of 50, and and still well and truly keep going on. So at the age of 55, I mean, at 90, that's 35 years. They're going to have to look to their retirement, but it's a long time, and your savings must be managed carefully to ensure that it lasts the distance. So that's where you want to manage those investments well, so it does last for that length of time. So just recapping the three questions you want to really sort of ask yourself or get on top of if you're considering retirements. How much income will I realistically need each year? Where will that income come from? And how long might my retirement last? So look, in closing, retirement planning isn't just about stopping work. It's about making sure that you have the financial structure in place to support the lifestyle you want for the rest of your life. And the earlier you start thinking about these decisions, the more options you will have. So just reiterating that point, don't wait until the last minute. Make sure you give it 5 years and start planning towards it. So hey guys, just been really good. Paul, Mark, it's been really good being able to share again this week. Next week on Money Talk, we've got another great topic. It's should you focus on paying off your mortgage, or should you contribute more money into superannuation? So it's going to be a really interesting topic. So make sure your listeners come back next week, and I look forward to talking to you then. So until next time, this is Money Talk. Thank you.
Well, there you go, Mark. So one of the takeaways for me, mate, was financial planning is not just about having to stop work. What do you think? What did you get out of it, Marcus?
Oh, well, I think it's interesting. I'm going to talk in my rant, so I'll cover this a little bit more. But these retirees, we want them to be settled because we're going to need them. We're going to need them on the bus. We're going to need them here. We're going to need them there. So, I mean, it's unbelievable what's happening, and I'm starting to build up to my rant. I don't want to do it. So we need these retirees.
All right, well, hold on.
Get out there, get back to work as volunteers.
That's it.
Get some volunteers. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and we'll come back with Virginia, our guest, who thank you so much for sticking around with us because I know you've got a very busy schedule. The tech guy, Mark's rant, and also we've got Talking Footy, or Sports Talk, I should say, coming up around the corner. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back straight after this.
All right, so he's off again listening to his music, and we can keep talking, Julio. And where are you at the moment, mate? Because I can't keep track of where you are.
Where I am?
Yeah.
Well, I've been all over the place at the moment. So I'm just back from Sydney. I was in Singapore, then back out to Hong Kong, now back in Sydney. So I'm moving around this beginning of this year. So
see, Virginia, I told you he's got 5 bank accounts. They're all full. He's starting to fill up his 6th bank account because he needs all this money because he's traveling around the world. He's a world traveler. Very important man, Julio. Very important man. And that's why he wants to get into politics. He wants to become the premier. Who knows? You want to get into federal politics. Who knows what he's going to do? But your mentoring, I think, he's going to steer him in the right track.
You don't need any advice from me, Julio.
So, we're not
I can't culture myself like Mark. Mark's like going to.
All right, Mark's rant. Let's go with it, Julio. If we can rock and roll with that now, and as we take the show towards 8 o'clock, don't go to miss music. There's Crossroads.
Well, I'm hot and mad, guys. I'm really upset. I'm really angry. I'm sort of really fired up. We haven't got enough Virginias in the world because all these people are making more problems for us to solve. We want to be unemployed in the community sector. Us helping people, we don't want a job. We want no problems. Petrol prices are going up. Now interest rates are going up. There's bombs going everywhere. They're just creating more work for us. More work, more work. And there's not enough people to help. That's why we need retirees to help us out, because we've got so much work to do. All these countries are being bombed. We've got to rebuild them. What's going on out there, Paul? We need help.
Look, it's a changing world. It's a changing world. To change your world, mate. It's adjustment, right, Virginia? We have to adjust. We have to make
That's right.
some
I know.
adjustments.
It's very hard at the
It is.
moment with petrol prices though and interest rates. It's killing people.
Yeah, Virginia, don't you agree with me?
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
issues are just getting worse and worse. More homeless, more people hungry, more this, more that. Now we've got all these
Yeah.
refugees. People got nowhere to live because their whole country's being bombed. So it's just going to add more work. So the whole welfare,
I know.
community, charity sector is a boom industry. Julio, why have we created this for? We don't want to be a boom industry.
Right, you know what we need,
Lord,
Mark?
Julio.
Go ahead, Julio.
Well, Mark, sometimes you need a bit of a kick and a little of a, expectations to move forward. And in this situation now, I think you just need to hold your breath and just go with the time.
Do you have a
I don't know how
tile
we're
for
gonna
that,
do it,
Julio?
Virginia. It's just
Do you
you
have a
and
tile
I.
for that?
That's all we've got, and it's going to be hard to raise a razoo. All the prices are going up. No one wants to give to a charity. I don't know, but I've been listening to you. How you're going to get through problems that are hard. So I'm just going to have to re-listen to the tape and see how we go, Paul.
That's
Yeah,
it.
there you go. Hey, but I would say enough that plus better internet. Obviously, we have some streaming challenges this evening, so just bear with us as we work this out. I've got a few more minutes left to show. 9 minutes as we take you to 8 o'clock. As I said, evening music up next. Crossroads with Nick from 9. But coming up, let's go to sports talk because I can't wait for Julio doing talking tech with the great man himself. But let's do sports talk, and if you want to hang around, Virginia, please just stick by and check out the sports session here on Paul, Mark, and Tech Guy.
Thank you for the cross and hello to everyone listening. For this week, my name is Nathaniel Khoury and I'm the founder of Baseline Sports. And I'll be bringing you 5 minutes of sports talk each week. Let's just jump straight into it and let's start by heading over to the USA where Josh Giddey is on an absolute tear making headlines in Chicago right now. After being snubbed for the All-Star game in February, he's averaging a triple-double for the month of March. Averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists, having notched triple-doubles in 5 of his last 7 games. There was a pretty special moment this week where he passed Chicago legend Michael Jordan on the all-time triple-double list, moving into 19th all-time with his 29th triple-double. Heading down to Atlanta, Boomer's teammate Dyson Daniels is also on a roll of his own. The Atlanta Hawks have won 10 straight games, which is their best stretch of basketball in over a decade. And Dyson has been pretty handy for them, averaging 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. It's honestly just really good to see that these young guys are dominating over there, and I think they're going to have amazing futures to come. Now, let's head back to Australia and talk some footy, where we've had a crazy weekend. And I'd be lying to you if I said that there wasn't a few games and teams that got wins that shocked me. None more than the Kangaroos, who got a dominant 46-point win over Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium this weekend. There was a special moment where the cameras panned over to Clarko and there was some tears in his eyes. And it was just awesome to see the emotions coming out, considering his team might have put together the best game of footy that they have in their tenure. And from everything I've heard from North supporters, there's finally some confidence that they're back on the up. And they'll have a chance to go 2-0 for the first time since 2023 when they take on West Coast this weekend. Carlton just beat Richmond this weekend, thanks to some inaccurate kicking from Tom Lynch, who I think went 2 goals 7. But Carlton fans, I'm sure, are happy with the 4 points. But there is one bright spot in particular I want to talk about, and that's Jagger Smith. Jagger Smith had 32 touches and 11 score involvements in just his second game of league footy after tearing his ACL and missing his rookie year. That included 16 disposals in the first quarter. I had a lot to do with Jagger Smith coming through the system, through his under 16s and under 18s, and it's not hard to say that he was seen as the number 1 pick for pretty much all year. History didn't go down that way, and Sammy Lawler ended up going number 1 to Richmond based off of needs. But I think it's fair to say that Jagger Smith is going to be a star for the future for the Blues. They'll join the Lions, Magpies, and Cats this week, who all have a week off as we kick off the first bye weeks of the AFL season. But while we're talking about Carlton, I just want to touch on the Coats, or not Coats anymore. They've actually lost the sponsorship, but the top league, which is the elite under-18 competition where almost 60% of AFL draftees get picked up from. There's one name in particular Carlton fans should keep an eye out for, and that's Cody Walker, the son of Andrew Walker, who's a Carlton father's son and is the projected number 1 pick. So to go with Jagger Smith already in that midfield dominating, they've got another superstar on the way through. It'll be interesting to see what sort of year he puts together, a 6'2" strong midfielder. But if I was Carlton fans, take it from me, I would be excited about this kid, and I'll bring you updates as the season goes. Another team who, man, are torturing their fan base is the St Kilda Saints, who have started their season 0-2 after an upset loss to Melbourne this weekend. I know St Kilda fans are hoping that their team comes back into form, especially after spending the amount of money that they did this week. But they'll take on GWS, who themselves are coming off a disappointing 80-point loss to the Dogs this weekend. And it'll be good to see which team bounces back and go from there. The Swans, Suns, and Dogs are looking like the early teams to beat, taking on 40-point, 50-point, and 80-point wins respectively. But in particular, the Dogs looked really, really good, taking on an 80-point win over GWS at Marvel Stadium, which is a stronghold. So if your team's playing the Dogs at Marvel Stadium, I'd just be crossing that off and giving the Dogs a win there. But to round out the round, we'll see Hawthorn take on the Swans, Adelaide take on the Dogs, Richmond take on Gold Coast, GWS take on St Kilda, Fremantle take on Melbourne, Port take Essendon, and West Coast take North Melbourne on Sunday to round out the round. Thank you again for listening, and I'll throw it back over to Paul and Mark, and I'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Nice little wrap up there from Nate's baseline there, mate. We're playing with the Port on the weekend, yeah? Port?
Well, we've got Port Melbourne. I was just wondering, Julio, do you think it's okay to take a second team? Like, my team's out of this year, so should I take on a second team? Like, Essendon's still my team, but maybe I could adopt another one for 2026 because our team's going to be bottom 4. What advice would you give, Julio?
Well, since you're thinking of that, you might as well stick to the old style teams in. So maybe a Carlton with the second team.
No, the team I'm thinking about is either the Suns, or who else going to win? It's the Suns or Footscray. Maybe the old Doggies.
Maybe.
Footscray. Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Dogs.
Yep. You're already red.
Yeah, go
black
Dogs.
and red. Why don't you go white and red? So just follow the trend of keeping the red there alive.
The Swans.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon it's the Swans, the Suns, or the Dogs are 3 premiership favourites.
Yeah, that used to be Fitzroy. Used to be Fitzroy, yeah.
That's
right.
yeah.
The Lions.
Yeah, Lions.
The Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane.
Lions, Brizzy, and New Internet. That's it. I'm done. I've had it. 98.9 Northwest FM, Paul Marketing Tech Guy. We've got one more segment, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Drop us a line at Paul Marketing Tech Guy Facebook because we want to hear your feedback. Obviously, tonight let's be honest, guys, we've had a bit of a stream challenge, but that's okay. We just keep marching through it. Tech Guy, you want to go with that, Julio, right now? Let's do it. And then we'll round up the show.
Now, this week I've been actually listening to Mark, and he needs a bit of help. And I was just listening and watching him videos, and I'm also watching stuff on the internet about what could support Mark. And the best thing I thought for him was actually a robotic dog. I reckon he can suit that. Living with it at home, you don't have to look after it very well, just to keep the batteries running, and that's it. And there are some options for you, Mark, out there. You can actually choose from just a normal toy version where you can remote control itself, or a nice cooking version, if you like, just to come back and have your own cooked meal as soon as you come home. or a full support system, one of the American-built ones, just for you, for your house, since you've already come back from America, make you feel homely being with this sort of challenge at your house. Or you can mix between the two and have, a gentle sort of face with the body built to last. So for you, Mark, just this week, I thought this is the best options you can take.
Yeah, love it, Julio. Love it, Julio. I think when Rosario's not around, I might need that dog that cooks me dinner.
Does it do that?
There you go.
Will it do it, Julia? Hey, great.
Yeah, we can.
I always love your secret, mate. Oh dear, what a show, what a night. Hey, 98.9 Northwest FM, Paul Mark, the Tech Guy. It's just about time to say goodnight. Hey, quick wrap up. How good was it to have the Mayor of Brimbank, Virginia Tachos, with us this evening? And, like in 2026, there's lots of stuff happening, Marcus. We've also got, money talk, we've got sports talk, all that sort of jazz, and the Tech Guy is back with us. So we just got to fix the tech. What do you think?
It is great to have Julio back, and given the Tech Guy's back, we got bad tech. Don't know what that means, but it is good to have Julio back. And Virginia, we're going to vote her in for Mayor of the Year. So we've got the Mayor of the Year on the show. So it's a pretty good start to the year having these celebrities with us. And Paul, you're a great man, mate. And I'm sure that the president of Northwest SF is listening, and I'm sure he's going to upgrade the internet for us.
Yeah,
Done.
I think so.
That sounds a good idea.
We're going to have some conversations. Done. Great idea, mate. It's one of the campaigns for 2026 sorted out. But so thank you to our listeners on 98.9 Northwest FM, and also Facebook out at Northwest FM Community Heart, and obviously our Facebook page, Paul Mark and the Tech Guy. Thank you so much, and keep following it. I mean, get behind us and keep following it, and drop us a line, drop us a note. We're going to be off next week, I believe. Is that right, Mark? So we're not here doing the show next week, but we're back on the 3rd of April. Yeah, back on the 3rd of April for 1st of April. All right, fantastic. So stick around and watch the show.
Pre-Easter show.
Wednesday the 1st. Yeah. Doing an pre-Easter show. Yeah, fantastic.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark, and thank you, the Tech Guy, Julio, for tonight, and also a big thanks to the Mayor as well, Virginia Tachos, and the boys, Rene and Nate, for all being part of tonight's show. Don't go anywhere, because there's evening music, Crossroads up next, and lots more. And check us out. And of course, don't forget Friday night, Smooth Friday live radio show on Fridays. I've got to plug that in there at 10:30 here at 98.9 Northwest FM. Have a great one. We'll see you next week, and stick around. Tell someone. Send a text that we're back here on a Wednesday. We're back here on the 1st of April. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.